excited I am for our next guest. Dylan Sprouse is the perfect person to help us kick off our week of love. So we first fell in love with Dylan at just 6 years old when he co-starred alongside Adam Sandler in the box office hit Big Daddy. As a teen, Dylan and his twin brother Cole became two of Disney Channel's biggest breakout stars. With their hit series, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and The Sweet Life on Deck, today, love continues to surround him. Not only did Dylan marry the love of his life, Barbara Palvin, last summer, but in his new movie, Beautiful Wedding, his character finds himself honeymooning in Mexico after tying the knot in Vegas. Take a look.
Look, I know I can be possessive. What on me?
You're suffocating her.
She's my wife.
She has a bad habit of disappearing, and I don't want that to happen to either of us.
We want you to fight for her. You don't see what's staring you right in the face. Love.
I don't even know what to say.
You'd say yes.
Please welcome to the campus, Dylan Sprouse. Come on out, Dylan.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Oh my God.
No way.
Oh, no, look, you're getting the love already.
you.
First of all, the hair. Can we just, I'm looking here, I never know what to expect. It looks, what is this style?
This is just me letting it go.
No, letting it go, really?
It's weird. I go in between shaving it completely and letting it grow very long all the time.
I love it. You look so good. The audience and fans, they've been here all day.
All day.
All day waiting from you. So many things. First of all, so many things to catch up on. I want to go all the way back, though, to 2011, the good old days.
Please.
When The Sweet Life wrapped up, and then you decided with your brother you wanted to go to NYU and study video game design.
I took video game design, yeah, and I lived here in New York for 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, sure
That's a
did.
big leap. I mean, you know, we've seen other great child actors go into college as that brief point of figuring out who you are. What was that life for you?
I think it's something that's really necessary for a lot of people. I mean, not only because education, I think, is just a good thing to pursue in general, but also because I think if you've been acting since you were a child, there's a moment in which you need to find out whether or not you're doing it because you love it, or whether or not you're doing it because it's something you've always done. That's something I think I needed to figure out, and I'm happy to say I have.
Yeah,
and
I'm happy
I
you
do
did too.
love it. So
I know that, you know, and I asked that because I know Beautiful Wedding, your co-star, you met at NYU. You met Virginia Gardner at NYU. But it sounds like in many ways you met yourself.
years before we worked together, we actually went to a frat party together at NYU, and we both did keg stands next to each other. And it only took years after that for us to be like,
Well, I'm going to embarrass myself. I don't know what a keg stand is.
no, don't find out.
But
It's better if
I
you
feel
don't.
like they've all looked at me like I don't know 1 + 1.
It's,
What is a keg stand?
No, it's not meant for the human body, is actually what I would say. It's drinking carbonated alcohol upside down is something that I don't think is supposed to exist
Okay,
ever.
all right.
But it's something that you can do, and it's a keg stand.
And you did it.
I wouldn't say I did it. I prefer drinking beer right side up.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's a good position that goes down more smoothly.
Yeah,
I like that.
Gravity, you know?
I was thinking about this film, your character, Mad Dog Maddox.
Yes.
First of all, the name is a tongue twister. But here's this guy, he's a underground fighter. He can't keep his eyes off the love interest here. Sparks fly, but as it said, it's a beautiful wedding, it's all of these things wrapped up in one. The classics of the rom-com. When you read the script, anything sound familiar about your own life?
I will say, for the record, I think the character that I play in this and myself are pretty different.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. I am not
But can't
an
keep it-
underground boxer.
But can't keep his eyes off the beautiful love interest.
That is very true. That we share in
Yes.
common. Yes. That
You met your wife, Barbara, at New York Fashion Week?
Yeah, I met her here.
You met her here 6 years ago.
6 years
Do you
ago.
remember the first time you saw her face?
We were both attending this party in New York during Fashion Week called Harper's Bazaar Icons, and it's a party that happens every year.
Yeah.
And I was waiting in the step and repeat, which is a red carpet, to get photos.
Is that a picture of you that night?
Yeah, so this is actually a great point. So I was
came
waiting.
peppermint stripe ready.
Well, get this. So I was waiting in the line, and then lo and behold, like a beautiful gazelle, Barbara jumped over the curtain and stopped right in front of me and cut me. And I looked at her and I was like, hey, I don't care how pretty you are, you're not cutting me.
Oh, she was cutting you in the line.
She cut me in the line for the step and repeat.
Oh.
And she turned to me and goes, what are you, a hot dog vendor? Roasted me alive, and I knew right then and there I was smitten with her.
I saw an interview where you said that's what drew you together, that you had a mutual love of roasting.
Yeah, we do.
What did you say back?
No, normally I'm not caught off guard.
Right.
But it's hard to look in the eyes of someone like Barbara, who's immensely beautiful and has piercing blue eyes, and try to come up with a comeback at all.
Yeah.
So I just sat back and said, you have that one. And she did.
I love your proposal was special. You both have a love of sea otters.
We do.
And you traveled. Where did you go to?
So I knew, obviously, I wanted to get engaged to her. Right. So Big Sur is an immensely beautiful place.
Beautiful place.
For anyone who's visited, you know exactly what I mean. And I knew I wanted to do it there. And I found out that there's like a wildlife rehabilitation center over there, and just basically a kind of natural landscape right on the bluffs of Big Sur that is one of the most populated sea otter zones in California. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get down on the knee, and there's gonna be tons of sea otters all around, and it'll be beautiful. And as soon as we were walking into the wildlife park, one of the rangers came up and said, hey, just to let you guys know, we haven't seen sea otters here in months. And I was like, but I was like, all right, well, we're here anyway, and I'm already in a button down on a hike, so let's do this. We walked the hike, which was about 2 miles long.
You were in a button down?
Yeah, which was a giveaway. I later found out. Got down on the knee over a beautiful vista, did the thing, and then she said yes, thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah.
And then immediately afterwards, we see a little head bob out of the water. And he rolls on his back and he looks
That's
up
the sea
at
otter?
us. That's him, that's the guy.
That's a real, I thought that was a generic Google sea otter.
No, that is a generic Google sea otter. We didn't get a picture of the sea otter.
You didn't get the picture.
They're faster than they look, man. He was really going.
But the sea otter was there to anoint the moment.
He was, and it was literally, it was fated because he came up as soon as she said yes, and then we looked over and was like, "That's a sea otter," and we freaked out. And it was the first sighting
so
in
sweet.
many months.
Oh my gosh! I know. This past July, you got married in Hungary, where Barbara is from. You shared your wedding video with us. This looks like a music video.
Yeah, it was a pretty shoot for sure, and a very pretty day. Doesn't she look angelic?
Both of you look stunning. Now, there's a Hungarian tradition.
Yeah, so Hungarian weddings are very different from American weddings, and I would lobby way more fun.
Oh.
Yes.
In what way?
They're very game oriented. So, for example, this all sounds strange, but at some point, the bride gets kidnapped by the groomsmen, and I have to perform like a series of games to win her back. And I was to sit in a chair like this. Lined up behind me were all of the bridesmaids, who I couldn't see. Yeah. And lined up in front of me were all of my groomsmen. And the bridesmaids had to do a dance.
Right.
And my bride was hidden among them. And the groomsmen had to replicate the dance that the bridesmaid or my bride was doing. And I had to guess which one was my wife by watching my groomsmen.
So you have a wall of guys imitating the dance that the women are doing.
Behind me.
And you have to figure out which one is your wife's dance.
Exactly.
You know you have to show me the dance right now that she was doing.
If you think... Hold on.
No, sir.
Hold on, guys.
No, sir.
I don't have the hips for that.
No.
Okay.
Hips don't lie. You heard the song.
It was a lot of butt movement that I'm afraid I'm not endowed with. However, I did guess right.
You did guess right.
I did guess right.
You guessed right. Okay.
And I won her back.
Okay.
So
I will spare you this time because you did show your wedding video. But the next time, sir...
I will come prepared with a full routine.